Right, let me show you my big boy. Let's go and have a look. And here he is. That's the size of that. So it drops off down there, hauled up here and pulled into there. So I had to raise this scaffold pole here. You can see up there. So that the steel beam would go underneath it to turn inside. So the beam is right in the corner of my project down there. But I just can't quite get it in, so I'm going to chop out this block work here, and that'll enable me to swing the beam in. These holes on the top, they go all the way down it. Well, you can see them all down there. That's so I can bolt my wall plate to it, which my rafters fit to. But I'm going to paint this beam. I'm going to give it a couple of coats of bitumen paint all over, just to help it stand in the weather, because it's going to be uncovered a while. Because just do this on a weekend and there's only so much you can do, and I don't want it all going rusty, so that will help to protect it. Once I've swung it round and it's in here, enables me to work on it, and it's there, and it's got to go right up there, right across. So I better have a good breakfast that day to get it on my shoulder. So this is just tightening everything back up where I slid the pole up this morning, because I don't want my scaffolding to drop. Bit of weight on it with me. So what I need to do is chop this bit of block out so I can pull the girder into the room. I need room to swing the girder round, but if you look, it's going to hit that corner. So we'll just cut that out now. It'll take a few minutes. Oh, wall tie. This is where I grow a third testicle. It's tight in that corner. It won't let me swing it over. I need to free it away from the corner. having some fun with this bloody beam. I pulled it one way, I just can't pull it back again. So I'll show you what my cunning plan is. It involves that. So I'm going to put another block on there. I need to turn this wood round because it's a damaged end. Put another block on there. I can put that underneath and lift up this beam. I want to try and get that old saw, spray it with oil, and I somehow need to get it under there because metal will slide on metal. So I'm hoping saw blade under there with oil, I go to that end and I arrive it back with my sling, and I need to get this in there but not touching the corner, because that's what the problem was before. It won't allow it to turn. Then I can swing that in. Well, ta-da! I used the saw and oil. I put a block behind that block so that didn't cockle, and the saw was under there. I just had to chop a bit more block out. Did the same thing here. That little sling, some pulling and grunting, and a choice word or two. It's in. So this morning, so this morning's task is to get some bitumen paint on this steel beam. The steel beam is going to be exposed to the weather for quite a while, and I don't want it rusting, and it's easy for me to deal with it on the floor. So I'm going to give all the sides what I can reach 2 coats of bitumen paint over the next couple of days, and then I'll have to roll it over and then paint the other sides over a couple of days, just so it's weather protected. So here's the beam and here's my paint. So that's what I'm going to paint it with. Best get on with it. So that's the first coat on. What I can see, I've got the underneath there to do, and the underneath of the webs. Ends are done. But I want to drill a hole in there, and same at the other side. They've been missed, and then I can resin anchor it down to my pad stones. Oh yeah, I need to drill a hole up there for that one up there. So my plan is let that go off, put another coat on tomorrow, and then turn it over, paint the rest. Need to put my wall plate on the top eventually, and I'm just gonna go get a cup of tea, Scotch egg, and then I'm going to prepare some wall plates, so I might film that as well. Right, Scotch egg is calling with my name on it. So I've had my Scotch egg and a cup of coffee. I'm going to prep the wall plates. So these are my wall plates. That's treated 4x3, and these are my rafters. So C24 8x2 rafters. And I put my wall plates on, then against my gables I put my rafters, and that gives me the angle of the roof, and then I know where to finish my gables. But I'll make one rafter as a template, and hopefully that same rafter will fit everywhere else down the roof, providing I get my wall plates perpendicular and on my wall plate perpendicular. So I'm going to show you how I do all that later on. So right, let's get these prepared. Let me just quickly show you my saw stools, my saw horses, because they're pretty handy things and they might be good for somebody. This is them, and what's handy about them, you can extend the legs. You move that lot and the leg drops out. So if you're on a slope, you can have legs longer at one side or the other. Quite handy. And you can stick some 4x2 or something in there. You can stick like 4x2 in here on its end, down to that one down there, same across there. It's dead easy to make yourself a little table just for working on or anything, but they're quite handy things. So what we need to do with the wall plates, we need to butt joint them together. So if you're joining them on the top of your wall, you don't butt the ends up because you can't fasten them together to make it like one solid unit. So you cut the bottom off of one wall plate, then your next wall plate you cut the top off, then they sit below and on top of each other, and you can screw them through there. So that's what we're going to do first, but we also need to determine which is the top and the bottom of the wall plate. So you sight it down, see which way it's crowning, and the crown always goes to the top. So we'll sight it down, and that is the top on that one. And as you can see, that's belly in the wrong way, so the crown is underneath, so I need to, this at the top is actually the bottom, so I need to turn it over. There you can see the difference. So we've sighted them through. I've marked on here which is the top of that one, and I'll write on here top. And then I want 100mm lap. So I'll get my square. Set that to 100mm. Yeah, I'll mark down the sides. So you can see that line, that's 100mm from the end. Now I need to get half of that depth. Let's just see what we are. We are 72, so that's 36 mil. So I'll move that to 36, which is there. So you can see where I've marked on them both. So what I'll do, I will remove the top of that one and the bottom of that one. So across the top and down to the halfway point, I'll now saw down there. Some people chisel them off, not wrong with that. I just find it easy to sew it, and it sews it alright. See where we're stuck. There we are. And as I say, a blind man on a galloping horse, I'll be pleased to see that. So I'll just do another one now. Well, I've just also bolted, no I haven't, I've drilled the holes through the wall plate ready for bolting to the steel beam. So that's where my bolts will go through, like you can see down there. There's my end all cut out. It's got the other beam to do, the other wall plate to do, but I'm just going to go put a second coat of bitumen paint on that girder because it's dry. Only on the tin it says between 2 and 4 hours. It's not tacky, it's all dry, so I'll go back painting again.